mom would always tell me, well, your dad was exactly what I wanted. I said, well, what did you want? She said, kids with brown curly hair and blue eyes. And that's what your dad said. And I go, okay, you had 4 kids. None of us have blue eyes. So
damn it. What did that do for you? Blue eyes. I'm like, well, how did this not happen? I mean, obviously, we're not going to be talking about sex topics with a certain age. But, maybe my mother might want to talk about it.
She has.
Yeah, she does.
She saw a picture of a guy I went on a date with, and she said, I'd climb him like a tree.
Oh, my
said,
God.
You can't walk right now, so I don't know what you're saying. Hi, guys.
Hi. It's our All Ages podcast. All ages.
You being my mom and me coming to you and talking to you stuff and you talking to me about stuff, I've realized that we deal with the same stuff in different capacities, but
I know, it's crazy,
deal with
right?
the same thing. So that's how, that's why I kind of thought of calling it all ages, just because like things that I experience seem to relate to you and your friends, and then the things you tell me, and I hear your friends' stories when I'm with you guys, and it seems to not end. It's the same stuff that I deal with.
I feel like it never ends. Well, listen, relationships are hard. And even with girlfriends, people think everything's supposed to be easy all the time, but I think it just depends on how much time you spend with a girlfriend or, a family member. I mean, then you kind of it gets tough, I
think that's what we wanted to talk about today, was more so relationships, but not just dating. I think relationships in life, whether it's friendships, dating, family relationships, all aspects of life. Yeah. I think both our conversations are typically either about our friends or we're both single.
We're both single. So
a lot talking about dating stories. I think we are aligned when we have stories. Obviously, yours are a bit more different because we're at a different age, but not really, which is concerning. Maybe that's why I don't have much hope.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Not hope. No, it's not.
That's terrible.
No, it's not. I actually think it's just like helped me take not just men, but I've come to this realization in my life with all relationships, where it's like you meet people where they are. If you want them to be in your life, then you have to figure out their behavior and their maturity, and like that's where you meet them and you don't expect much more from them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what happens is we kind of, they say you are what you attract. I don't know about all that, but I do think that some people find certain things in others attractive. Like, it's almost like intentions. Like, what is a person's intention in a friendship? For me, I love people's hearts. I think you do too. We really love to see people happy and things like that. But I think sometimes in relationships with even girlfriends, I do think that there are women that want to attach themselves to other women to try to level up without doing the work. And then sometimes a girlfriend will be like, but she's sweet and I want to, you kind of bring her into your world. And it doesn't always work, because if someone isn't, as we're growing in life, kind of like a marriage, if someone's not leveling up.
Well, it's like the more you grow and change, the more your tolerance also changes for certain people's behavior. I think you become friends too. Sometimes I've become friends with people when I need to find friends. And
right, and you make maybe the people that you like, but they're not really
then you try not to judge people. If someone's good to you and nice to you, but they're just so different from you and a different vibe, then I don't know that it's...
That's what I'm saying about with reference to like some people come in your life because they want to attach, or maybe, if you're looking for friends, you become friends with people you wouldn't normally become friends with. If two people aren't vibrationally matching as besties, as friends in the circles, that doesn't work. That's why they say like your vibe attracts your tribe, but really where you are on a level is where your good friends are. Like you said, you meet them there, but at the same time, everybody's wants to grow is still going to keep continuing to evolve and grow. And so the relationships actually get better and they get stronger. Do they have issues? Everyone does. Do they work through them? Yes. When people are healthy and they have good relationships and they do their own mind work, of course. But they blow up when I think girls are still girls and they're not women.
I have to hold myself accountable in all areas of life. If I want to be better, then you can't allow yourself... You're in full control of who you allow yourself to hang out with.
Yeah, boundaries are a great thing. I like them. I think they're great. Walls of protection, I don't think you should have them so high that no one gets into your life. But I'm saying walls of protection are important. Call it inner bitch in my book, because she's like our protector, and she's where you recognize and you're like, no, this doesn't work for me. Like, I can't. Like, that's negative. I don't live in that vibrational zone. I don't land in the low vibe zone. I stay up here, and you just got to do it for yourself.
I think also, I was telling a friend, I've tried to date the last few people like different from what I liked, because I thought like,
it's fair.
like,
you have. Oh, yes, you have.
I was trying to force things because I was like, well, maybe I was wrong. All those other.
Well, because you're picker, you're like, maybe let's go the opposite. I did that once.
Like,
that was a
okay,
mistake.
so maybe it's I have to just get out of my comfort zone. No, that didn't work, because I realized they may have different issues than XYZ or like the guy that I was really into, but they still have issues. And then on top of it, you're not that in.
So do you. So do I.
No, but on top of it, then you're not that into them either.
I like to say we all have stuff.
No, but that's
when people make the stuff become issues in their life and it's affecting their life, that's more issues to me.
But like, I have a guy's gonna have to put up with whatever I have and you have. And so I've realized, and what I told my friend is like, every guy is going to have something. It's who and what you're willing to put up with.
Yes. And you like the positives and the minuses, and you kind of like see what's at your deal breakers and, zero tolerance for and things like that.
And then she went on to then be like, well, I know what you said you were willing to put up with, and like rip on it. But I don't think that's what you might be willing to put up with. I might not.
Of course, everybody's different. That's why people have. There's always somebody for somebody. Always someone for somebody. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing.
That's why I think also careful how much you say to your friends about guys and dating, because
people can get jealous.
Yeah.
And even if they don't intentionally mean to, and they're really good friends and they're good people, sometimes people can get jealous. I remember when I was married to your dad, and I really didn't talk about our marriage, but I remember like I was talking about something, was out like whatever, stupid stuff. And this person was like, I would never put up with that. Oh my gosh, I would never. Meanwhile, she knew her husband was cheating on her, and she was
go and put it. The same people that judge right away and say, I would never, are the same people once they're in the relationship, they are letting that person just mow them over. They don't care.
It's very interesting, this mindset. Why not just be honest and say, listen, I'm kind of dealing with that right now too, and I'm seeing how it affects you, and I've been dealing with it. Hey, maybe you can help me. Like, that's a beautiful relationship, but people don't want to be transparent. Vulnerability, total path to love and joy, and I think happiness, because transparency and vulnerability is the way to good relationships. But most people are afraid the ego steps in, they won't have it. And that's such a big block, and I think it kills your joy. And it kills your ability to actually process through in a relationship. And if you have good advice and have friends that really give good advice, and not even good advice, but just share, right? And actually say, well, you made your bed. Now you got to lay in it, kind of a thing. Like, instead of saying, oh my God, and it's always like, he's bad. It's like, wait, hold on. But where are you contributing to this? Let's make sure that you're not contributing. That's a good friend. Seeing where you might have some work to do. But most people want to focus on the bad, but that's probably also why they keep bringing in the bad, because that's just what you are what you focus your life on. You are what you meditate on. You are what you think about a lot. And then your thoughts have legs. They go out in the world and they come back to you and they give it all to you.
I always thought I'd be married. I'm young, I realize that. I'm 27, but I always did think I'd get married. Like, you got married at like 21.
I happened to find everything I was looking for.
No, I know.
And he found everything he was looking for.
And I haven't.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to, yes, could I have? But I find it interesting. I always thought like, oh, well, now I'm getting, like, earlier this year I had broken up with someone, and I was like, am I crazy because I'm 26? Like, I'm going to be 30 and then I'm going to be single, as if it's like so horrible. Now I'm 27 and a half, and I'm almost a half, not fully, and I'm like so at peace. Like, I'm just finally at the point where until I find the exact person that I want, and I'm being beyond
you're picky like me.
Beyond,
by the way,
to a whole nother level right now.
You're really picky.
But I don't even have the time. If it's not exactly what I want, I'm not even entertaining it. Because if I do, by the way, like, again, I'm a people pleaser. So, like, if I see a little, then I end up dating them, and I don't like them, then I have to break up with them after a whole year. This is what I do, and I've wasted, like, years doing this.
You're almost, it's a people pleaser. You're kind of an enabler a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was too for a long time. And I still may be. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think stronger, also, beyond that, I realized I was looking for something, I think, in a guy that only I could give to myself. Like, inner thing. We have lights on us. That I think only I can really like give to myself and like fulfill.
Totally.
Like, and I was trying to find that in each guy. And then I just realized like, I just need to focus on myself and create the life that I want until I find someone and be content with that.
Yes, well, I kind of talked to you about that a lot.
I know, but now I'm finally at that point. And it's not like I was like dating all the time, but
folks, and they finally eventually listen. I'm just kidding. No, actually, I'm not.
Yeah, so now it's just not something, obviously I want to get married and whatever, but I'm like, I'm like good, unless if it's with...
Well, that's like, you know me. I mean, I've
like
already
really
had kids, but that's why people always say, why are you still single? And I go, well, I'm single because I am so picky and I will never settle. I tried settling once, and that was not with your father. He was great in many, many ways. But I did settle once, and that was a disaster. And I will never settle. And I love my life. I love my kids. I know what my life is like in my house. It's happy home. I don't want anybody to ruin that. I mean, you know, there's a lot of performers out there, so it's kind of scary. You know, at your age, you've probably seen me do that, and that might make you, and also with your experiences.
I think I haven't dated I've had like three boyfriends, but I think I've had enough experience within those.
Yeah, you really have.
Like,
damn, you
for
have.
a lifetime.
I had it all late in life.
For a lifetime, there's been some interesting things so I feel like I do have, for only being 27, I have a lot of wisdom with certain men and how people like
discernment. You have really, I think your EQ has gotten a lot higher.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through some relationships that I don't think most girls my age would get out of.
Oh gosh, I know one, two, they would, three, actually all three.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people to divorce. When I divorced your dad, I think a lot of women would have stayed there too. I mean, you know, you're a strong woman. By the way, people sometimes cut down being a strong woman. Being a strong woman is a great thing. It means you know your worth. It means you have self-regulation. It means that you also know when to hold back and bite your tongue. I mean, not always. We're not perfect. We're human. We fall short.
Yeah, but I like that because I don't like when people are like, oh, you have to
No, they
all
think
the
a strong
time,
woman is like this alpha.
Like,
and it's
no,
not.
I'm not
it's
an alpha.
But that's the opposite. A strong woman is actually not an alpha at all. She wants an alpha man. Another man is just not like, you know, enough for her because she knows her worth. Another man may not even understand how to relate with her because he's not up at this level. Strong women love to look up to their men and respect their men. People get that very mistaken. But a strong woman that knows her worth is also someone that's not going to settle. They will, listen, in life, can you always have it all? But, you know, I think you can get pretty close. And nothing's ever perfect. I mean, listen, raising kids, whoever you're with, there's going to be days you're going to emotionally divorce them. You're going to be like, this guy, I want a divorce in your head because it's normal. I think you want to do that with your kids and your mom and your dad and your friends. Yeah, we have emotional divorces and sometimes verbal. But, you know, that's life and that's relationships. But that's emotion too. But
I think that all goes knowing what to expect. Again, not just in dating, but friends. That's all like,
it's relationships.
Nothing's a fairy tale. You have to know that in a relationship, you have to know what you're willing to deal with and what's your deal breakers you're not going to put up with and how to like coexist.
And you see yourself grow in them because you see how you're growing in these relationships and how you're handling yourself better and how you're learning how to set boundaries and you're learning how to evolve in a way that maybe you respond better. Relationships are a beautiful thing. Without them, I think we're empty and we are basically spiritually and emotionally dead. So they're beautiful, but we have to kind of cultivate the beauty within our relationships with that other person. And the other person has to, it's all about honor and respect and communication and the permission to be human and still be loved. Yeah.
But going through a divorce and you knew exactly what you wanted with Dad.
Yeah.
So has that changed exactly what
like
you want now?
Would I think that I should have stayed with him, you mean?
No.
Oh, no.
Like what you wanted then.
Oh, okay. The curly brown hair, blue eyes, tall.
Okay. Well, the one thing that I always caught, I know I said don't judge what girls say they want. Yeah. I did always think it was a little silly. My mom would always tell me, well, your dad was exactly what I wanted. I said, well, what did you want? She said, kids with brown curly hair and blue eyes. And that's what your dad said. And I go, okay, you had 4 kids. None of us have blue eyes. So
damn it. What did And he has blue eyes. I'm like, well, how did this not happen? He wanted a girl that had dark eyes and big lips. We both were super attracted to each other.
What you're looking for in a guy right now, you don't have to say fully, but like, is it different from what you were looking? I would assume because
it's funny. I think it's different only because I like men that are. I like really strong men that can handle confrontation. I will tell you that. Not with me, but I like a man that's not afraid to defend his family, to defend his wife, and I love when men defend their wives and things. I love when men are strong and they protect their families. I love a protector. So that's a huge thing for me. I've tried to go the other looks. You know that. I've dated that's not my look at all. I really have. I've tried. And for me, I had to explore later because I didn't date a lot young. I didn't date a lot young. I explored later. It's good for me because I had to grow up at an older age when it came to dating, and I hate it. I think dating's exhausting. I'm trying to have more fun with it.
So me in 20 years, I'm going to be attracted to most likely the same.
Probably this. I think you'll shift on what you're like. You see red flags differently. Like I see them early on. Now I'm like,
no, I already see those.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go.
As we've said, I've already. I see those from like a mile away.
Yeah, I see them and I run, and people are like, Tina, you are crazy not to give this guy. I'm like, all these great men. My girlfriend. It's like, you have this uncanny ability to meet some incredible men and you just dish them off, and you hand them off to other women and you don't want them. And you've told me that too. Why do you keep saying?
But I've done the same where I end up dating guys because people would all think they're a catch or whatever. But if it's not
for you, it's not for you. I know.
It's just a waste of time.
My standards are just where they are, and I don't think they'll ever change. I mean, I think, again, I could do the different kind of look now. I've gotten into that. It doesn't have to be this.
I've never had one straight, like you said, like look that's...
You have not?
No. I'm not so picky with that. I either just find them attractive or I don't. And then I find a lot of like traits about people.
But I'm like that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten like that now. Yeah, I think that's a part of growing. I think maybe I was a little bit of a I don't know.
I think you become it's kind
of messed up to just always look at the physical package.
Yeah, and I don't think we give men enough credit. I think girls think that that's all men care about, and I shouldn't speak on behalf of all men. But
I think men have changed a lot.
I think they like when a girl's hot or whatever, and they'll talk about it. But I think they're much more deep when it comes to wanting to be in a relationship. They want a girl that's can have a conversation with them and go deep with them and talk. But they just want a girl to fit into their life.
Yeah.
And
be there. Just right there. Don't say a word.
Yeah. That's just what they want.
just be there, feed the dogs, take care of everything, and just stay.
Yeah. So that's
not going to work for me. But I do think that men I feel like there's a lot of men out there I feel like that aren't assertive, or they've lost their
no one has a backbone.
What is it?
I know.
We're not ripping on. I think men are great people. There's so many great men I know, but when you start talking
I'm so
to guys,
attracted to a guy who has a backbone.
Well, even long distance, even at our age, I don't get long distance. I think it should still be easy. We don't have kids in the house anymore. It shouldn't be a big issue. If you find a connection with somebody in New York City.
I've never seen
why.
If you find someone that you really think there's something, then that's something that can easily be changed where you live down the road. So
totally.
Why would you let something so silly like that when it comes to finding someone that you really have a connection with if you're going to be with them the rest of your life? But at our age,
especially your age, I can understand maybe a little younger. It's hard. Everybody's building their life. But us girls that have talked about it, we're like, what is it? So we find more attractive these men. They still have that masculinity where they're willing to be assertive and say, you know what? This is a woman that I want to go after. I want to fly in and take her to dinner. For us, we're like, wow, you just came all this way to take me on a date. That's major bonus at our age. It's and I think that's what we start looking for at our age, or men that they don't find things complicated. It's no, I can do this. I got that. It's we like that. It's that protector. It's like that guy that just knows how to get things done and handle it.
I like when a guy, again, because I don't feel I like when a guy kind of tells me what he's doing and takes initiative. Even tells me what we're gonna do. I kind of hate when a guy's you pick. I'm I don't want to.
I'm no, you pick.
Yeah.
And then after you're married, no, but then once you're married, you're nope, we're doing this. We're going here.
Yeah, 100%. When I don't know the guy as well, I think especially what it is, I don't
You want them to be happy.
Yeah,
that's how I am. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And I don't think they understand that I truly actually mean, no, it makes me happier if you're happy and like you choose. And
That's how both of us are. Yeah. But you know what's nice is if you can get a man that you can be that way with, but then also when you do kind of hold your ground on something, they're not like so offended that you matter. And that's what's scary is like with the way we are, I think sometimes it's better to be assertive at the beginning and kind of say, in fact, just as a test to make sure they're good with you owning what it is you want to do and maybe leaning into your way a little bit, like moving the needle to you a little bit, because that's been an issue for me is that I've noticed sometimes like in my marriage, I'm like, I feel like I'm not like appreciated. And then when I stand up for what I feel is right, because I don't complain about a lot of things, all of a sudden it's like, like I'm not allowed to matter. And that's so unhealthy. So I think we should work on that. Like the next time we have a date, we should be, or they ask us, we should just
I'm trying to
go for it and say what we want.
Yeah, just be more assertive.
Let's do that.
Like if you said something wrong that offended him, then he's not your person. If one little thing that you said, I think as long 60%. As you act in accordance to like what's true to you, I've come to this. That's why I feel at peace with everything in life right now, because I'm just like, I can't. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to work for the things that you want. It's not going to just fall in your lap. But like, I can't really mess up whatever's truly for me. No. And I think that's the same with a relationship.
Sometimes what's truly for you is the mess up.
Yeah, because it leads you to where you're meant to be.
Totally. 100%. This is what it's all about, is relating to everyone at different ages. And this is how we all come together.
It's just different age groups talking about what we're experiencing in life. And like,
and it's nice to share with other age, because you have information from me. I have, because you can sometimes bring a lighter perspective to something that's a little heavier for me because I feel older. And so I kind of make it heavier in my mind, or I, overanalyze. And a youthful perspective is sometimes really nice. Well, make sure, guys, that you follow us on Instagram, Tina Marley, Mackenzie Marley, Majerle.
In between episodes, what we're doing. Until next time.
Thanks. Yes, until next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.